What's up, everybody? This is Coburn C Capshaw / Someone Just Smiles a Lot, and this is my buddy Brandon Kacar / Aviation Expert 314. And today we are doing an audio / video podcast at the same time. That's why the setup looks a little bit funny. So we've got our Rode microphone here for the video podcast, and then we have the Ceremonic boom mic here for the audio part of it. So the reason that this is here and not the other Rode mic is because remember I told you about the one podcast I did after I was done doing it with my aunt in Florida. The cord, you were there. Remember the cord ripped out.
Yeah.
And that's why.
I was just about to say.
Yeah, I was actually saying, like, this is a good one, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But trust me, if I would have that Rode one on top of this and recording with both ends, it would sound,
Yeah.
But I'm sure it's going to sound a lot better considering that we even have a microphone right here in the first place.
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah, so, hey, man, how have things been? I mean, so you're doing it. Okay, so we always talk about security.
Yep.
But I'm just curious. So I'm curious about this new. So you're working at a construction site. Construction site now.
Mm-hmm.
And you're also doing a gas station?
So, my company, we're kind of like all over the place, basically.
Sure.
So we have different contracts in post. We're just trying to pick up other contracts too. I was thinking about maybe picking up some construction sites too for my company that I'm at too. To get some more work in, more hours.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit better pay because construction sites pay pretty good.
Right.
Don't get me wrong. For some more hours, good pay. I've been thinking about it. I haven't talked to them yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I was thinking about talking to them about maybe going up into a leadership position with them too. But that's up to them though. That's their decision. But I feel like I want to be able to build that kind of relationship with them too. Since they trust me a lot and I trust them a lot, and I want them to, I want to help them create a much bigger business with our company and have a bigger success with our contracts and posts that we have. I know a couple of weeks ago you were talking about how you're thinking about taking an exam to have your own company build up. I'm thinking about doing the same thing too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So it'd be, like I was talking about. I need to start studying the book again. I've been busy being a dad, trying to balance doing this and trying to balance,
gotta be able to balance work and personal life.
Well, I got to do director, and he's really cool. Like him a lot. Just trying to get him adjusted to the work environment versus like what he did before and stuff like that. And then just getting him adjusted to how things work around there, and then getting to know him and all that. It takes a while, and then showing him all the projects that my old boss and I have been working on to try to make the work area environment better, like you try to do all the time.
Yeah.
Talking about the things that get shut down all the time, things about that. I know we've talked about this in the past, but all the stuff that gets pushed under the rug, or nobody looks into it, or they don't care to look into it anymore. And it's like, what's the point of even doing this or talking about it then, or bringing it up, or making it an issue if no one else is going to think it's an issue?
Right.
That's just but then like they say, it's not an issue until it becomes one.
Right.
And I'm not going to get into those specifics because we're trying to be professional security officers. We can talk about work, but I don't talk about where I work. I don't mention the name. I'll say the establishment or, and that's it. I don't know the word school has slipped out a few times, but I'm not saying where. And it's not that they don't trust me. It's not that they don't like me. But when it comes to social media, you don't know who's going to take what the wrong way. Mm-hmm. And that's why I try to always make sure I say the right thing, or make sure I'm not doing anything wrong or going over bounds or not talking about anything too controversial to where I get in trouble. And that's why I can, that's why I'm lucky enough to where I figured it out to where I don't get any backlash. But if I do, then I'll try to work on it and I'll try to do better, especially if someone says, hey, like what you said was really offensive here and this was wrong there and things like that, because I don't want to be known as that guy for like voicing my opinion and then like thinking I'm untouchable because I've worded things in a way to where I feel like I am now. I know in my advice video a long time ago that I posted where I said what was the title of it? How to Avoid Controversy. Mm-hmm. Where I said if you do word things in a way, in an algorithm or in the right way there is a good chance that you won't end up getting penalized or whatever, or people won't come after you because of the fact of how you did word things, right? Now, when I said that, I didn't mean to say that you're untouchable, right? People can say what they want, they can comment what they want, they can come back up to you however they want to. Like, even if you feel like you're doing something positive.
Yeah.
Like, example, I didn't tell you about this. A long time ago, I got two comments on my on one of my martial arts training videos, my self-defense video, and one of the guys said when somebody commented and said, no wonder this guy only has like 50 or 60 subs or whatever he said, and he said he must be, he must be taking the PISS. I don't want to curse, but like as I say, like that that English term or whatever, like I might, or like Australian, he must be taking the which means like he must be talking out of his hoo-ha, so to speak. And then somebody else said something along the lines of like, I don't know, like this doesn't work, or I don't know, that's just something really weird. And all I did was delete them, and I ignored them because I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter to me, because actually, if I'm correct, I think that's the one video that got over like 200 something views. I don't even remember. Like it got a lot, right? So it didn't go viral necessarily on YouTube, or especially not really like my Facebook page or business page. But the fact that it got that many views to where somebody commented, it's like, again, not trying to be that and I've said this before, like we live in a world where people thrive on people's hate, and I don't know why they think it's whatever. Mm-hmm. If you thrive on people's hate, cool, if that works for you now, but later on you're gonna realize it's not worth it. And I've said that a lot in the past, right? I still feel the same about that today. But what I'm saying is that it sucks that I got those comments, but I guess you could say the turnaround of it is that video got that many views. Yeah. Right? Even though that it came with negativity. So that's why, especially when I talk about, again, going back to security, going back to this, going back to what we say, what we talk about. I say and post what I want, but like I said, I don't try to be controversial. I don't try to purposely do anything that's going to get me in trouble or do anything dumb or stupid. I got a family, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But like my wife, and she knows I love doing this, and I love it that she supports me, but she also knows that I'm careful about it. She knows I'm not going to, anyway. But you know what I mean, man. It's like when you talk about your security stuff, like you have to be careful. And like I know, like there might be certain stories you can tell me, but I know there's a lot of things you can't tell me. Like there's a lot of things I can't tell you until we turn the camera off. But what we're saying though about I'm sorry I interrupted you, but basically what we're getting at here is like what we're saying, and he understands where I'm coming from, is that from a security perspective or just professional perspective to law enforcement in general, if you're a cop out there, special services, whatever you want to call it, secret service, whatever, there's things you can't start even talk about. There's even things that you can't tell your family, seriously. So what I'm getting at is that, like, but you get it. But back to you. So you have these two different gigs, and like, what else can you tell me about it? Like that you're allowed to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So we're just looking around for different contracts, different posts that we can pick up to build more hours and be able to get more pay in too for the company, and be able to bring more people on too. We want to help the community and be able to have a brighter and bigger success with our company. We want to have a large motivation for being able to help and contract with the community.
So what are the requirements to apply?
Well, it depends on what kind of contract you're working and what you're trying to sign off on.
Okay, so let's say I'm not saying I'm going to leave my establishment anytime soon. But let's say I wanted to do a 7 a.m. to 3:30, like an 8 a.m. shift, or maybe if they got like a 4 and 4 shift, like where I work 4 hours in one spot and 4 hours in another, or something like that to equal out the full 8, or you know what I'm saying?
So some contracts, they do vary on hours. Some can run 3 minimum, some can run 12 max, even 16, which is rarely the case. Right. But it depends on the site you're going to. So for example, like we have a hospital in the city that usually goes from like 12 hours, at least minimum 12 hours of a shift. That can be worked around between, it can be split up though. It can be split up on occasion. But then, like, say a minimum we have, like the gas station, for example, that's a minimum at least 3 to 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, cool. We're still recording. It's just that it turned off on me. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, it should be like Dürber's. One guy on the inside, one guy on the outside, or like the hospital. Well, not anymore. We don't, but we used to. We used to have at least 2 to 3 guys at the hospital shift. Usually 2, one outside and one inside. It used to be like that, but.
Now, hold on, real quick. The only reason that we're saying Dierberg's is because that's a known spot. Like, they're known to have security. Now, the place I'm working at now, since, like, no offense, I'm not saying Dierberg's is in a high end, whatever. But since where I work is very, private, very, not saying prestigious in a bad way, like other things that are all nose up in the air. I mean, like, in a good way.
Yeah.
They don't want, what I'm saying. I'm just trying to protect their reputation and who they are, me working for them. So that's why I'm not saying their name. You know what I'm saying? So, again, but the only reason we're allowed, at least I think I'm allowed to say the D word, Dierberg's, is because they're known to have security.
Yeah.
Right now, where I work is known to have security, but again, I don't want to use their name. Yeah. So what were you saying, though?
What was I saying?
Something about getting different you said getting different contracts. The gas station shutting down.
Oh yeah, so the gas station is shutting down this week. I'm gonna try to help them up for another contract to pick up to get some more hours in. The hospital, we bumped that down to a 1-man post, so that's only a one-man post, no longer 2 or 3-man post like it used to be.
Damn.
We still have some contracts in the area, but they're kind of like filled up because they have certain people they want to put in certain spots. Could be based on their availability or based on their experience that spot will require, or it's kind of like that mix that they got going on. So that's why I'm looking to help them pick up some more contracts, so that way I can be able to build a little better success for them too.
Yeah, that makes sense. It sounds like they have consistent hours, but at the same time, they can be up and down. So just like when Dierberg's, it was I knew what my schedule was, but somebody would randomly call off or do a no-show or ask or get sick or whatever, and I understood I'm standing there and I would get that call, hey, do you mind working at 12? I'm like, hey, do you mind switching locations? Yeah, sure, whatever. Things happen, but, so, kind of like that.
Yeah, it's kind of like that here, too. So, for example, last week we have this, have you heard of a place called the Armory?
Yeah.
So we also contract with them, too.
Really? Wow.
For them, too.
Cool.
We do unarmed inside, armed outside, of course. I went in there because, my shift usually starts at 10 o'clock at the gas station, right? And the shifts over at the Armory usually don't start until at least earliest 4 o'clock and the latest 6 o'clock, right? So one guy called off. They asked me, hey, do you come into the Armory to pick up a couple hours before you go into the gas station? I'm like, I don't want to, but I'll do it, I need the hours. Not that I don't want to, I'm just really tired and exhausted. So I'll just, I'll do it because I really need the hours badly. So I did. I went in and grabbed a couple hours, so 3-4 hours, and then went to the Shell station and finished my shift, and then I run over to the hospital, do another 4 hours over there to finish that shift out. So, they have you running around like crazy.
Right, yeah. But it's good for you. Money's money, and you're providing for yourself. So whatever. It's it's like I said in my advice video. We have to value what we have, right? Versus what we see online or what we see is better. Blah blah. It's not fun that you have to run around and do all that. But think about the fact that people trust you to do that. Think about the fact that they want you around. Think about the fact that they're out of all the people I trust this guy. So that's going to make you feel good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Obviously it does, but you do what I mean. Like,
at least the good thing about this, good thing about this company I'm with is that we have full powers over us. We have full authority. We can go hands on. We can do whatever we gotta do to protect ourselves, defend others, and we're not like Allied or Garda World or even Gateway where we have to strictly observe and report. We're restricted. We're refrain from going hands on. No, I don't do that. I have to go hands on if I have to.
Trust me, I've been pushing to get at least pepper spray, but here's the thing, like, if it wasn't the same area where I work, the benefits weren't amazing, if I didn't get good paid, and if my hours weren't consistent, you know, it's not that I would want to leave for any reason, but as a security officer, I want something on me to feel safe. You know, and I feel like it's not fair when we don't have anything.
Yeah.
But if something happens, though, it's not coming out of my own pocket.
Yeah.
So that's the benefit. But you know, just like, come on, guys. Like, I know hand-to-hand combat. You know, I do keep my pocket out for me, but like that's not enough sometimes. You know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm not saying I don't know.
Well, I mean, not only that, but the cool thing is that our boss, he's an actual police officer too.
Yeah.
With the police department, so he he has that authority too. So he has the authority to give us powers of arrest and be able to give us the powers we need to be able to perform our duties and get the job done too.
Yeah, mine's still commissioned as well as a police officer, even though that he's gonna retire, but he's, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He was like, he said just to keep my police officer's license, and he's like I might have to occasionally do like a ride along or like, you know, like train someone every now and then. So he's like, that's a day where I take off because of that. I'll let you know. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Like, that makes sense. I get it. You know, you gotta do what you gotta do. And I said, well, it's kind of like, you know, some people have a business address just to keep their business going, or to say that or to legally say that they have a business address. You know, like even if they never go to that office, you know, they'll do it just to, you know, get one. But you know, he was a SRO, and then you know, security resource or SRO.
School resource officer.
Thank you. I'm tired. For Webster, and then he came over here. You know, and then he was a cop for like over 20 plus years, so he's got like that experience. But the best part, he's a nice, cool, down to earth guy. I like him a lot. Not gonna say his name again, you know, just for protective reasons. But he's a cool guy, and I can tell we're gonna work together really well. He's had my back a lot already after a couple of situations. Not bad, but just, you know, people being ignorant, the entitlement, thinking they can do what they want. You know, I can tell that he trusts me and we're going to work together well. You know, he said, the only thing I ask is that I don't have to micromanage you. And I'm like, oh, trust me, that's the last thing you have to do with me. Yeah. Like, there's not going to be any issue with that at all.
Yeah.
So, just good to know that I'm working with someone that can trust me and I can trust him.
Exactly my point. Yes, because like my boss, you know, like I mentioned, he's an active police officer. Yeah. You know, he's a detective, he's a field supervisor with this department. You know, I'm not going to say the department who he's with. Right. You know, but, you know, he's got a lot of experience, real experience under his belt that, you know, I'm very glad and thankful and lucky to be working with him. Because I know he would be able to put me in the right direction, be able to help me with, you know, give me the advice I never need, be able to, you know, give me the direction that I need to build better success in future. You know,
I think that said this thing about taking his license over or switching over to the Kacar will do, considering he works. He's going to be the director now where I am. Yeah. He's like, that'd just be easier. He says it make more sense to have my license here than all the way back over, in Webster. And I'm like, yeah, no, that does make sense. I would say, so hopefully he can do that switch, make it easier on him. No, but I really like that he said he wants to have all the officers from all the different precincts and county and like around there. The dude, pretty cool, everyone, as close as they can get there to like actually look at the school, walk around, tour it, look at the hallways, make sure look at our safety protocols, see we're doing everything right, and it'll be nice to actually have that. I'm not saying that my director now never did that, but it's like as long as I've been there, that's never been done. So if we do that, that'd be really cool. Yeah. So that way, not only will they know the hallways and just like everything like that, and just like know like, hey, this is where we need to be here if this happens, or we need to be in this area if this emergency happens, just so that way instead of just playing a guessing game on the phone, they know exactly where to be if something goes down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I mean, you obviously do know what I mean, but.
So you guys are gonna like have like a full-time police officer on schedule with you guys too, or
No. The thing is that
like doing secondary type work for the school?
you know what? If we end up going with in-house security on the weekends, we might be looking for retired police officers who want to do it. But the thing though is
Someone
that
that's post-certified.
but the problem though is that going from what you make as a police officer going down to what we make now just being security, like we're afraid that they're not going to want to do that. You know, whether we offer to pay them more by not giving them benefits, but they're probably thinking, well, if I'm going to be doing this, I need my benefits.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with the benefits, they'll be making as much as I do. And don't get me wrong, I do make really good, income, and I actually got a couple of raises for my dedication to where I work. So what I'm saying is that I'm not saying you can't make good cash, but like as a police officer, they make a lot.
Yeah.
So to go from that down to security pay, they're like, so that's our only worry. Is that like, what I'm saying?
Well, usually police officers, active or retired, that holds a post commission, they usually have the eligibility to make more than the security officer.
Really? And I think it all depends on like how the school. Again, everything has to go back to the school and like how the school wants to do with things, and how municipalities, board of directors, like there's a lot of loopholes you got to go through to even like shoot like even heck, I mean. Yeah, to even get anything, like, security-wise, like, there's a lot of loopholes you gotta go through.
Yeah.
Which is whatever. I get it. I mean, I've been at that spot for a while now. I totally get it. I get the work politics. I don't like them all the time, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Things happen, and sometimes there's certain things that you can't fight. You want to fight them, but you can't. And, it's, I don't know, man. There's a crazy world we live in.
Yeah.
It's just, it's a scary world, and that's why I always make sure that I'm raising my boy right and, showing him that as scared as this world can be, there's beauty in this world too.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, man? Like, people don't talk about it enough that if you, like I said, not just valuing what you have, but if you see the beauty in things, you can be so much happier. You really can. Like, like the be happy or have the beauty in the fact that we have a job, or it's beauty in the fact that we have a family, the beauty in the fact that we have people who love us, beauty in the fact that we even get an income, beauty in the fact that we have a roof over our head, beauty in the fact that we have friends, like as you and I, like as we're friends, like, loved ones. What I'm getting is that when people stop looking into the perspective of what's important and only focus on the bigger thing, it's literally kind of going back to what I said in my recent advice video. Sometimes the bigger picture isn't always the bigger picture.
Right.
Just because it looks nice doesn't always mean it is.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that value what you have and take care of what you have and like love what you have, because once it's gone, man.
Yeah.
It's and I know I'm being vague about like, well, what do you mean? What do you mean if it's gone? What is that? It could be anything. It doesn't matter what it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Shoot, it could be the smallest little thing to the biggest thing that means the world to you. And like, once it's gone, it's gone. So take value in it. Like, example, like the fact that my mom lets us go over to her house all the time, swim in the pool, and the fact that she calls every day and FaceTimes Jack every day, a lot of people could find that as annoying. I love it because it's like she's taking the time to go out of her way to be a loving grandma and love him and show him, hey, like I'm here and like I want to, do what I can for him before I pass away. Because once my mom's gone, I won't have any parents left, dude.
Yeah.
That's it. Besides Phil, who has been like a second dad to me, so I'm going to rely on him, but I don't know if he's going to go first or my mom. Hopefully not any of them anytime soon.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, I take value in the fact that they go out of their way to even come see him or like, go to dinner with us or, and it's like I always say in my Facebook post, never, it's such a long thing that I say, but it's so true. I always say, never take for granted special memories that you create with loved ones that you'll remember forever.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do. And it's like, okay, well, whenever you're like, oh man, I missed out on that. Or like, if you start to lose friends or loved ones or whatever because you want to be closed off and not live in the moment, it's just, you know what I'm saying? Like, just not be who you really are. They might be like, oh, well, I don't want to talk to this person, not interact with this person because, they're being this way. Or, I mean, I don't know if I'm making any more sense anymore, but you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I'm just trying to think of what else to say because, like, what's your perspective on that? Like, seeing the beauty and stuff, or like, what are some things that you think we could do better as humans to better ourselves that we don't do, or that you think we need to see more of?
We just have to talk to God. That's all we can do.
Yeah, there you go. I was hoping you were going to go there. Well, all right, people. Here's a part of the podcast where it gets real deep. No, I'm just kidding. All right, it's been 30 minutes. We got some time. What time is it? Only 9:02.
Yeah.
You got some time before I got to get out of here. We'll wrap it up in the next 10 or 15.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, you're right. I know I need to make that full step into that narrow gate, as they say, give myself fully over to God. But I'm glad I'm a lot more I'm a godly person than I ever have been. And the one thing is that, yes, I get angry. I get mad. I'm human. I'm not perfect. I say just stupid things. I yell sometimes. I lash out. I do things I shouldn't do, and But the thing is that I've discovered that God has made me a loving person. He put love in my heart, and He wants me to spread love out to others. That's why I see the beauty in things. That's why I can look at a big little cute baby and go, like it's my own, and it's not even mine. Or I can, cry at certain things. I'm too men are too tough to cry. I don't care. I have emotions.
Yeah.
It happens. So what I'm saying is that because I try to be loving, and because God put love in my heart, that's why I try to spread it out there in the world. That's why I'm a sensitive person. That's why I take things, I do and don't take things lightly. That's why I try to help others. That's why I try to spread this love and go for what I can in my life to spread the love to help others out there in the world. That's why I do this.
Yeah.
That's why I do the mental health podcast. That's why I do the advice videos. That's why what I'm getting at is, again, like, I'm doing it because of love. I don't care if I get famous from this. I really don't.
Right.
I do it because I want to make a difference. That's why I've got, I'm working with Ugandan children in Africa now with Someone Cares Africa and James Dream Chasers. Like, they're now my client, And, my video after I boosted it, our first ad or whatever, 3,000 plus views on both of my Facebook platforms. Not as many on YouTube, but my videos have never got that many views, ever. Mm-hmm. So what I'm saying is that, like, through my social media work and through their influence, how their advertisement get 3,000 views,
right,
and 3,000 plus. Not bragging, I'm just saying that that's the kind of work I can put out there in the world. And like, they haven't got any donations yet, but they have told me that the views do help a lot because it gets their cause out to what they're trying to do for those children through donations, right?
Right.
So yeah, again, that's a godly thing, or not godly. I'm sorry, that's a godlike thing that God would want me to do because He put that in my heart for me to do that, or for me to want to do that, right, to be that person.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not saying I'm like, Mr. Big Shot, or I'm better than anyone else, or I'm gonna change the world or anything.
Right.
But if God didn't put that love in my heart for me to try to help these children of Uganda, or try to spread this love out there, then I'm doing a dishonor to Him, because I'm not using the gifts that He gave me.
Right.
So because I try to be loving, because I try to be nice, because I try to, always give people a smile, whatever. I'm sympathetic and blah, 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 right? Again, I'm not perfect. I'm human, right?
Yeah.
But because I do that, I am not dishonoring God because I'm doing what He put on my heart for me to do. Me doing all the social media stuff, again, it's not out of being famous. It's about out of love.
Yeah.
He wants me to do this.
Yeah.
I know that sounds crazy, but I know He does.
That's just like me when I was working in corrections. I'm doing it to help change the lives of the offenders, to give them. I'm doing it to help them change their lives around. To prepare them to go back into society, what to expect, so they can be able to reconcile with their loved ones, their family members, their kids, their parents, whatever you name it. Be able to change their lives for a better and safer community.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of me doing corrections. I'm not doing it to be all tough or be all badass or whatever.
Yeah, no, good.
I'm just doing it to better change their lives, to better be able to help them get back into society.
Mm-hmm. That's like same thing with my security where I work. Like I love to be cool or blah blah blah. Thank you for helping start making the security work, but once I found out what I'm really good at when it comes to security, I'm more good at where I work now, then I'll be even better once I finally get my security license for the security professional, the PSP.
Yeah.
Or whatever. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Security is, it's not easy. It's crazy work sometimes, and people are like, "How do you do it?" And I'm like, "I don't know. God, that's how He put in my heart. God willing, right?" And the reason I try to be a loving person because God wants me to be is because like you and I try to make the difference and show that you can be that nice security officer, and you don't have to be Mr. Hard Ass all the time. You have to be Mr. Oh, I'm gonna show you what's what. I'll arrest you. No. If anything, it's better to kill people with kindness. Mm-hmm. My approach to how I do things, especially where I work, is that I go up and I say sorry just to let you know, blah blah. I tell them the policy, and I tell them, and I in a nice way, hey, just to let you know, can you not blah blah blah, and then I tell them the policy, and then I say thank you very much, and I walk away. So that way they can't argue with. Now that sounds rude, but it's not. Mm-hmm. But so they can't argue with me. They understand the policy, and then now they know for next time, right?
Yeah.
So here's an example. Whenever people park in the fire lane, right? Mm-hmm. I go up, give them a smell, and say, hey, just to let you know, we need to keep this fire lane open for EMTs or emergencies. If you don't mind, if you do need to get out of your car, it's been a while since I've said this. So if you do need to get out of your car, do you mind please go to the parking lot, and then you can walk across and over here to the doors, or
right.
And then I said, if you don't mind, and I said, especially if they're attending to the child, right? I'll be like, hey, do you mind, going to the parking lot? Because, whenever you do that, it does hold up a line, and, we need to keep it up for EMT. And they're like, oh, yeah, sure, no problem. Mm-hmm. That's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or sometimes if they do get out of their car, I will say something along the lines of, problem with getting out of your car is one, that it does hold up the line, and also if you're gone and there is an emergency and I can't find you and I can't let the EMTs in, that's going to be a problem on both of our ends, right? They're like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, blah blah. I do say there's a little new ordinance, you can't be doing this, whatever, usually, like I said, unless they're feeling entitled that day, or unless they have, I think I'm, they're usually really cooperative. So that's what I mean by let them know the policy. I let them know what it is real quick. I don't give them time to argue. I say, thank you very much, blah, blah. Kill them with kindness, treat them with kindness, let them know the policy. They can't argue back, and they're like, well, I don't want to argue back because he wasn't mean, he didn't yell. He'll let me know, over next time.
Right.
It's not that hard to do.
Yeah.
I'm not yelling at anyone. I'm not berating anyone. I'm not calling them stupid. I'm not saying you don't know what you're doing. Like, hey, what's wrong with you? Blah, blah, blah. Especially if they've never been there before. Where I work, as you know, it's a huge establishment. It's massive. Yeah. Okay. If you don't know where you're going, I get it. Benefit of the doubt. I'm going to be even nicer to you because you don't know where you are. Yeah. I'm not going to treat you like, oh, look at this, dumb. They don't know where they are. Oh, well, you need to figure it out. No, but come on.
Right.
And security officers who are like that, they need to lose their license.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Anyways, what do you feel about what I said?
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah. There's just, again, and I know I say this all the time, there's too much hate in the world, and there's so much hate in the world. That's why we're not perfect, but we try to spread as much love as we can. At least I try to, and I know you try to as well. Because it's ridiculous.
It is.
Well, anyway, it's been about 35 minutes. You should probably get going to your other security job.
Yeah.
Anyway, everybody, thank you all for watching and listening. This has been Coburn C. Capshaw / Smells a Lot and Brady Kacar / Aviation Expert 314. If you need a market advertiser or a martial arts coach, if you need any updates or one of the updates about how my work with Someone Cares Africa and Injured Gene Chasers is doing, just let me know or hit me up on my social medias. I'll let you know. Please be on the lookout and please give a donation. Look at my recent advertisements, and all the information on how to donate will be in the description below those advertisements. Anyway, guys, I love you all. Thank you for tuning in. I'll see you all next time.